Okay, so I'm just going to adjust the volume. On this occasion, my volume setting actually was down. Um, I want to talk a bit about the tragedy that occurred in Birmingham a few days ago. This story got very little coverage proportionally because there was a lot of other things going on at the time, all the fallout from Brexit, the Tory leadership contests, the Labour Party's internal crisis, and events elsewhere. So this story sort of got glossed over almost, or at least didn't really get a great deal of coverage. So I'm going to bring a bit of attention to it because I think this is quite important. Um, and we'll read this out, it's not very long. Heavy lifting equipment was brought in to recover the three remaining bodies of five farm workers crushed from the wall collapse at metal recycling plant. Two of those killed were recovered on Thursday night by emergency crews who retrieved them from under tons of metal and concrete rubble. All five were pronounced dead at Hawkswood Metal Recycling in the Nechells area of Birmingham yesterday morning. A sixth man suffered a broken leg. The victims were originally from Gambia and were all Spanish nationals who were working to clean out a metal storage bay when a 15-foot sidewall came down on them. They had been named locally as Saibo Silla 42, Usman Jabi, Mohammed Jagana, Ali Mano Jimma, and Bangali Dokera. All were married and with children, said the city's Gambian Association. Members of the community said they were hard-working family men on the minimum wage who had been employed for a recruitment agency. A joint West Midlands Police and Health and Safety Executive investigation is underway but is expected to take many months. Yesterday, a heavy lifting crane was operating to remove the concrete blocks. Detective Superintendent Mark Payne said that it was a complex job to remove the bodies with dignity while preserving crucial evidence and ensuring rescue workers' safety. An appeal launched overnight for the victim's family has already raised 3,000 of its £5,000 target. Okay, I just want to talk about a few of the issues around this without making this excessively long. Firstly, that appeal seems £5,000 for five families doesn't seem like a great amount for five lives. You know, if we compare that to other tragedies such as the Joe Cox assassination or other tragedies where the threshold was a lot higher. Um, this sort of occurrence is not very common in the UK, but it does happen occasionally. Workplace safety remains a very important issue, and the overwhelming number of victims, it has to be said, in these sort of incidents are male. I don't want to make this a gender issue, but that is a fact. So, you know, when feminists talk about the gender wage gap, they're overlooking the fact that some of the most dangerous jobs are carried out by men. Um, but there are other issues at stake here. There are, you know, when we look around the world, some of the poorest people also work in some of the most dangerous jobs. Now, I don't know the exact working circumstances that these men were going through. Clearly, there's going to have to be a safety investigation as to the conditions at this plant. They were on the minimum wage. Now, I'm not going to say the employers treated them badly or like that. I simply don't know. But, you know, they're on the minimum wage and they're doing a dangerous job. Maybe they should have been getting more than that for the job that they're expected to do. If we look around the world, in Britain and around the world, some of the most dangerous jobs are industries such as oil rigging, coal mining. Coal mining remains extremely dangerous, especially in countries like China and the DRC. Um, so I think those of us who have, frankly, a more comfortable life need to just kind of, you know, without wanting to preach, I think we need to acknowledge that there are people out there who do jobs that other people don't want to do. And occasionally these jobs are dangerous. So, you know, I'm thinking about the families of these five men at this time. It's the worst tragedy to happen in Birmingham in a number of years. Um, and if anything comes from it, it should be focused on those who are frankly at the bottom of the ladder in terms of, you know, the working environment. Someone has to do these jobs, but it's an area where robot technology could have a place in the future. But of course, that would then come with the complexity of presumably increasing human unemployment. But where there are dangerous jobs, maybe it's something that needs to be looked at. You know, 5 men have been killed in this incident, so yeah, let me know your thoughts. My thoughts go out, my heart goes out to the families of these men. It's no one should have to go to work and come back in a body bag just for trying to do their job. It's wrong. So that's that. Let me know your thoughts.